Brendan Fraser reveals BTS secrets of the whale. Hey guys, today we're going to talk about how Brendan Fraser reveals BTS secrets of the whale. Let's get right into it. Number 1. The Tension Breaker. Brendan Fraser reveals his dog Pee-wee from under his coat at the start of a Q&A following a screening of his film The Whale at Palm Springs High School on Thursday during the Palm Springs International Film Festival. Of course, no spoilers, but the film concludes with a breathless, emotionally draining 5-minute scene. So it created an odd atmosphere for an actor to skip up onto the stage in high spirits to start a conversation while the audience was still processing what they had just witnessed. Fraser, realizing this, devised a strategy. He arrived wearing an olive green coat and matching baseball cap and pulled out a dog from inside his coat. Yes, he had gone to the desert with a tiny dog. Fraser lightened the mood by revealing Pee-wee before handing the dog over to a loved one in the audience to begin the movie discussion. The veteran actor made a wise and welcome move. Number 2. Landing the role. Aronofsky appears to enjoy the tortured soul character arc, and he's also become a master of thinking outside the box when it comes to choosing his leading man. Aronofsky had a specific game plan for choosing who would play the titular whale, much like he did with Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler, which sort of resurrected Rourke's career. He said with a laugh, "I think Darren hadn't seen much of anything that I had done, outside of maybe, no, he hadn't seen much of what I did." He then added, but he said he was looking for an actor who was someone to whom audiences felt they already knew and hadn't seen for some time, but would want to become reintroduced to. Fraser had to smirk at the kind of backhanded compliment that comes with fitting that bill, but he didn't hesitate to collaborate with Aronofsky. The actor's physically imposing stature and broad shoulders also aided his cause. He said, "I admit I had a small bit of creative intimidation meeting Aronofsky for the first time, and he was straightforward about the challenge he had as a director and a filmmaker, which was to create this character, not only from the inside out, from the outside in." He then said, "That means what does Charlie look like and how is that achieved?" He shared with me that he looked for actors for a long time and some were closer to the body type that Charlie inhabited, but for practical reasons he needed to find a performer who could wear the apparatus that it would take to create him. Number 3. The apparatus. Each day, Fraser said it took about 4 hours to get into the Charlie suit and 1 hour to get out of it. The character should be between 500 and 600 pounds. However, unlike other films in which people wear a fat suit for a one-note laugh, the authenticity and care taken to avoid that unseemly area was at the forefront. There was only one problem once Fraser was inside the apparatus. He needed to make his way from the makeup chair to the set. He said, "The difficulty was getting from the 70 or so steps to the set, and in fact, I needed to be wheeled there by a really strong guy called Ben. And then there were 4 or 5 other people who were my pit crew to keep me hydrated and change out the ice bags and tubes running up my back. I melted a lot of ice, like 7 or 8 bags a day. That's kind of funny to me, I don't know why, but my body melted 7 or 8 bags of ice a day, not something you say often." COVID-19 added a tricky layer to the suit's construction. Normally when creating a prosthetic, you collaborate closely with the actor, gathering all kinds of intricate measurements and molds. No one was allowed to get that close to Fraser while filming this movie. Fraser said, "The normal process for putting an actor in all of that prosthetic would be to mold the actor by pouring goop on the face to create a mold. But we didn't have access to one another, so it had to be done virtually." Fraser then added, "That meant Jeremy, our producer, came and found me in my driveway with an iPad, and he scanned me as he walked around me, and the dog got in the shot and screwed it up. And that information went to Adrian, who was in Montreal, and created Charlie in a 3D virtual model." It was unclear if Pee-wee was the dog in question. Number 4. COVID helped in a way. COVID aided in some ways according to Fraser, who joined the team in January 2020, and we all know what happened in March 2020. Like most projects, there was a chance that it wouldn't happen due to COVID, but because this is a one-room production with only 5 actors, they were able to press on while taking extra precautions. He explained that the threat of COVID may have actually improved the performances in this particular story. He said, "There's almost a secret filter or layer or ingredient that goes into how this movie plays, and I think it has something to do with that when we made it, it's 5 characters in one room on a soundstage in Newburgh, New York at a former motorcycle museum, so we were really careful with one another." Fraser then added, "We were so much more devoted to each other's safety and concern that I think it shows on the screen in a way that I don't think you could capture that. We'll appreciate that secret ingredient." That's all for today, and we'll be sure to catch you all in the next one.